Hi, my name is Arifa Delasimo, and I'm making this video today to tell you about a wonderful opportunity you have to invest in yourself and your own future career goals by enrolling in Matthews Tutors. I'm currently a freshman student at Columbia University in the city of New York, an Ivy League institution, where I am studying neuroscience and behavior on the pre-med track. I personally don't believe that I would have had the ability to call myself a Columbia student had it not been for the efforts of Matthews Tutors all those years ago. When I was in high school, I struggled with math, and I knew that I struggled with math. Math filled me with fear, and I wasn't confident doing it. But after just a few sessions with Matthew's tutors, not only was I instilled with the confidence to go forth in whatever math classes I chose to take, but I was able to increase my ACT score by almost 10 points, helping me earn a super score of 35. With those numbers, I was able to get accepted to all 16 colleges I applied to, including but not limited to Cornell University, Georgetown University, Tulane University, Duke University, and the college I currently attend, Columbia University. Matthews Tutors is going to do everything that they can to help you. That's what they did for me. But not only are they going to help you be a better student, they're going to continuously check in on you. I know that I personally received a lot of messages of support from them during my first semester of college, which was one of the hardest semesters I've ever experienced as a student. Matthews made sure that I had the confidence to go forth and pursue my own academic goals, but they also helped me increase the numbers too so that I could get where I wanted to be. And I know that they can do the same thing for you if you give them a chance. Thank you. Hi, my name is Arifa Delasimo, and I'm making this video.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you've had a good week so far. You had a great weekend, and looking forward to spending our time together. We're going to do some math today. We're going to do some puzzles. Also, remember you can ask any questions along the way. We're going to walk through several problems. Some of the questions I have today are from questions that were asked in the last session last week, and so I've brought in some of those type of questions that would help us at least make sure that you're ready for the upcoming school year. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. We're going to have a good time. Always remember that this is a place where you can feel free, and you should feel free to ask any kind of question that you may have related to the topics that we're discussing or to any other math topic that you need help with. So I'm looking forward to spending the time, and so let's get started. Good afternoon, Motolani, Enena. I have Onyekachi and Jaden. Good afternoon to you all. I hope you're doing well today and you're staying safe. So give maybe one or so more minutes for everyone to join the session, and then we can get started with our questions. What I've also tried to do is I have a link for you all so that you can actually submit questions ahead of time. I'm going to get the link posted. I want you to be able to ask your questions. You can ask for topics. You can also ask for specific questions. You can send us a picture of a question that maybe it's on your mind that you'd like us to walk through together. And our method here is to walk you through the simplest way using steps that you can repeat. So we will continue to do that, and I'll go ahead and get that link posted so you can actually see what it's like, and we'll be able to use that to help craft some of the questions and topics that we focus on during our sessions together. So welcome, Anastasia. Everyone who's joined, welcome. And if you're joining us for the first time, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Just let us know. Give us comments also, feedback. Let us know how we can better help you. And the subscription would allow you to get notified. Usually, if you get 30, once the session is scheduled, you get notified 30 minutes before it starts that it's about to start. So you would only get that if you're a subscriber. So go ahead and subscribe so that we can serve you better and we can know how to better help you. Okay. All right. So we're at 1:03 and for us in the Central Standard Time and 2:03 in the Eastern Standard Time. So let's go ahead and get started with today's questions. You're going to see, I want you to also feel free to answer any question. And because of the type of questions we have today, I'm going to implore and I'm going to urge you not to use a calculator for any of the questions today. I'm going to show you exactly how to walk through them without using a calculator. All right, let's get started with the first question. So a lot of the topics here you're going to see, they're going to cover mostly what students are learning from about second grade, first grade to about 7th grade. But if you're a student in a 8th grade and above, feel free to stay because there are going to be questions that at least help you remind yourself of some of those things that you have learned in the past and you may have forgotten. So for those who are new to our session, the way we walk through this session is I put a question out there, I give you a chance to try to answer it, then we look at different answers, and after all the answers are brought through, or everyone that is participating has answered the questions, then we get a chance to walk through it together. And if you have questions about any of the topics, you can go ahead and ask. All right, so Anastasia has an answer. All right, that's good. So let's keep it going. I'd like you all to participate. And the reason why I want you to participate, it gives me a chance to know what areas I need to focus on a bit more for the different groups that we have. So we have 956. For those that are joining, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Onyekachi, okay, 956. So we got two. Looks like we got two females with answering. So where are the males? Let's mix it up. Let's mix it up. Okay, Jordan, 958. Take a look at it again. Okay, let's go ahead. It looks like we got a few answers come through already. So we're going to go ahead and answer the question together. And always remember, you can ask questions as we walk through the process. I'll keep looking back and forth at the chat to make sure that I address your questions. So I like to always start with simple questions, and then we'll start building up until we get to more challenging questions, and then we'll have a puzzle after a few questions. We're going to have two puzzles today. After a few questions, we have, I think after about 3 or so questions, we have a puzzle, and then after the last set of questions, we'll have another puzzle to end the session. So let's go ahead and answer this question together. So we have 587 plus 369. 369. So we're going to go ahead and add these numbers together. When you're adding, you always start from the ones position, or we can say the right hand side. So you start here. 7 plus 9, we have 16. So we're going to write 6 down here and carry 1 up here. Now we're going to add this column. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 6, we have 15. So we're going to write a 5 and bring a 1 up here. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 3, we have 9. So this is going to be 956. So good job to everyone who attempted this. So 956. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask them. I want you to ask as many questions as you have or as you can think of, so that I can make sure that when we're done with this session, you leave here feeling that you have learned something new. All right. Okay. Good job, everyone. Let's go to the next question. So we have a teacher here has 782 pieces of Skittles to give to her class of 24 students. If she gives each student the same number of Skittles, how many does she have left over? So does anyone know what to do here? So if this is most likely a 5th grade, 6th grade question. So if you're in 7th grade or you're in 2nd grade, don't leave. We're going to get to something that is we have something for everyone today. So the first question we went through was grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, thereabout. And now we're going to higher grades. So we'll keep going back and forth. We'll go from higher grades to lower grades, but everything is going to be grade 1 all the way to grade 7 in what we did today. 742, 758, 14 Skittles. Okay, all right. So we have a varied set of answers coming through today on this question. So that's very good, because I want to see. So I see 14 Skittles, Onena and Onyekachi. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead, and looks like we got some answers come through already. For those of you in higher grades, I want you to also look at some of these questions we're walking through as an opportunity for you to review, because some of these questions that we're doing right now that apply to 4th and 5th grades, maybe 6th graders, when you get to high school, you may actually be asked questions on this, and in high school, your teacher is going to assume you know it already, so they're not going to spend the time reviewing. So this is your opportunity for us to review. Okay, so a teacher has 782 pieces of Skittles. To give her class of 24 students. If she gives each student the same number of Skittles, how many does she have left over? The same, if she gives each student, so here are some keywords, the same number of Skittles, how many does she have left over? So when you're looking at this, you're looking at the situation where she's sharing. And when you're working in math and you see the word, when you have sharing, you're also looking at division. So division is sharing. So we're going to go ahead and divide the number of Skittles she has with the number of students in her class. So let's start from there. So we have 782 divided by 24. All right, so now we need to find out the quotient and see if we have a remainder. The reason why I'm thinking of a remainder is because of this word here. This little phrase here, it says leftover. How many does she have left over? So that gives me an inclination or an idea that there could be a remainder. So let's go ahead and try to do this together. This, I know for 5th graders, gets to be a bit challenging, so I'm going to show you the best way to do it. So we have 24 and then we have 78 divided by 24. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and have 24 multiplied by 1, that is 24. 24 multiplied by 2, that is 48. 24 multiplied by 3, that is 72. 24 multiplied by 4, that is 96. So you can see right here that 78 is between 72 and 96. So we're going to choose 3. So this is going to give us 3. 3 multiplied by 24. 3 simply means that in 78 we have 24. We have 3 groups of 24 in 78. So 3 multiplied by 24, we already have the answer here. That is 72. And then we subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. 7 minus 7 is 0. Then we're going to bring down the 2. So how many groups of 24 do you have in 62? Let's go back to this little table here. We have 24 multiplied by 2 is 48. So you can see 62 is right in between these two numbers. So we can see here that there are exactly 2 groups of 24 in 62. We can use 3 because 72 is larger than 62. So we're going to use 2 here. 2 multiplied by 24, we have 48. And let's put a 0 here and we can subtract. So now we have 2 minus 8. So we're going to subtract this. We borrow 1 from here, make this 12. 12 minus 8, we have 4. And then when we borrow 1 here, we're left with 5. 5 minus 4, we have 1. So here's what this situation is. So the teacher had 782 pieces of Skittle and gave each of her students the same number of Skittles. So each student got 32 Skittles, and after she was done giving all of them the same number of Skittles, she had 14 Skittles left over that she did not give to any of the students. So here, 14 is your remainder. So here you're going to see that this teacher had 14 Skittles left over after she had given an equal number to each of her 24 students. All right, that is good. So are there any questions? I want you to ask questions. If there's anything that you need more help understanding, please ask questions. Like I said earlier, we'll be posting a link that allows you to also post questions ahead of time for our sessions so that I can take a look at those. If you can post topics, you can actually send a picture with a question that you are interested in us going into, and then we'll make sure that during our session we do those together. Okay, no questions. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, we're going to look at standard form. Last time we looked at scientific notation. So this week we're going to go back from scientific notation to standard form. All right, good, good. So we're converting this to standard form. If you're not sure what to do, you can also say you're not sure what to do, and let's see if there are a few more people that are not quite sure what to do with a topic like this, and then I can show you exactly how to go about it. So we're converting, so we have 2.04 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 4, and we have 3.542 multiplied by 10 to the power of 7. Okay, so I see someone says this is confusing. We'll get to it, we'll walk through it. Okay, give it a try. If you think you know what to do, just try. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. We're here to help. We're here to learn together. So just go ahead and try. We'll work it out together. So I'm going to show you something here with a number line. Always remember this. We have a number line. The middle point of a number line is 0. Whenever it's negative, we're going to go in that direction. So that is negative. Whenever it's positive, we're going to go in that direction. That is positive. So that's an important hint for you as you walk through a question like this. You want to realize, because what you're going to do is you're either going to have a decimal or you're going to have a whole number or a large number. Okay, so it looks like there's a lot of confusion with this question. So let's go ahead and try to answer the question together. So what we're going to do here is we have 2.04 times or multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 4. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write 2.04. Okay? Now what I want you to realize is the exponent, which is this number up here, is very important. It determines what direction the decimal goes, if it goes to the right or it goes to the left. Okay? So if you have a negative exponent, you're going to go to the left, like I showed you here. Anytime you go to the left, you're going negative, and anytime you go to the right, you're going positive. So because we have a negative 4, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to create 4 loops to the left. So we have, from here, we're going to go here, 1, 2, 3, and then we have 4. Okay, so what that means, so you can see I've created from there, we have 4 loops going to the left. So here's what's going to happen. For each of these loops, we're going to write a 0. So this is going to be 0, 0, 0. So that means your decimal has now moved to this position. Your decimal moves to that position. So you're going to have 0.0000204. So what's happening? Let me go over this again. Okay, all right, good. Okay, I see. Good job, Anastasia. So what we're doing here is we're trying to write this number as a decimal or as a large number. Whenever you have a negative exponent, which I showed you here, is the number on the top of 10. When you have a negative exponent, you're always going to the left. When you have a positive exponent, you're going to go to the right. So what we have here is we're just trying to move the decimal. So we're going to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 positions to the left. And each of these loops, I'm just going to write a 0 under them. And that's going to give you your decimal answer. If you want more examples on topics like this, let me know. We can do 1 or 2 examples. And then we can also refer you to our YouTube channel where we have lots of videos that talk about these specific topics. Now that we've done the first one, let's look at the second one. I'm going to write 3.542. Now we have exponent is positive, is a positive 7. So let's look at that. We have a positive 7. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to move the decimal 7 units to the right. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our decimal is going to come right there. So every place you don't have a number, we're going to replace with a 0. Every part of the loop that does not have a number, we're going to replace with a 0. And our decimal is at the end. Whenever the decimal is at the end of the number, you can always say that that's a whole number. So we have 3, 5, 4, 2, and then 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to put our comma so that we can write the number properly. Remember the rule is you count from the right all the way to the left. After every 3 digits, you put a comma. 1, 2, 3, you put a comma. 1, 2, 3, you put a comma. So this is going to be the answer to that question. All right. Does everyone get it, or would you like us to do another example of this topic? Okay, you get it? So now let's go ahead and we're going to try our first quiz. Sorry, our first puzzle. We're going to do our first puzzle right now. Great job, Motolani and Onyekachi. I'm glad that you're able to understand it after we walk through the examples together. So here we have, what does each of the letters stand for in these statements? Example, here we have 365D in a Y, which is equal to 365 days in a year. We now have 5 different statements, and we're going to try to see if we can come up with what these statements, we're going to come up with the full statements. Okay, let's see who has an answer to the first one. Let me give you a hint. It has to do, let's see, I'm going to give you a few moments to try, and then I'm going to give you a hint on this. If no one can figure it out, I'll try to give you a hint to see if you can use that to figure it out. Or you can answer any one of them in any order. Tricky, yes. Tricky, tricky, tricky. But I'm sure you guys, I have a lot of faith in you all that you're going to be able to get them. So even if it's tricky, I want you to keep trying. So let me give you a hint on the first one. The first one here is about golf. The first one here is about golf. 24 hours in a day. All right, I see we got one answer here already. 24 hours in a day. That is very good. Good job, Jaden. Let's see who else can come up with, who else can help decode some of these statements. Keep trying. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and give us a like, give us a subscribe as well on this channel. We'll really appreciate that. 18 hits on a golf course, very close, but instead of hits, it's going to be 18 holes on a golf course. So you're very close on that one. Let's see if we get some more. Anyone need more? Anybody needs some hints on any of these ones? Let me give you some hints on all of these 3 and see. 26 letters in the alphabet, fantastic. 26 letters in the alphabet. So you all are thinking. 18 hours, no, 18 holes on a golf course. We got that one. We got 24 hours in a day. We got 26 letters in the alphabet. And let's do this. I'm going to give you some hints on this last 2. I'm going to tell you, this is chess. This is music. That's your hint. We have chess on that one, and we have music on the last one. Okay, Adeze, good job on that one. 26 letters in the alphabet. So let's look at the next one. It's all about chess. I've given you a lot of hints on that one already. That should help you get to your destination. Okay, 88 keys on a piano, fantastic. 88 keys on a piano. 88 keys on a piano. That is very good. Okay, we got one more to go. One more to go. You guys are up to it. I know you can do it. 88 keys on a piano. We got 18 holes on a golf course, 24 hours in a day, 26 letters in the alphabet. And then the last one is about chess. If you're a chess player, that's a bonus for you. If you're a chess player, think of a chessboard. That should give you all that you need to answer that one. So let's see, 64 spaces on a chessboard. Very close, very close. 64 spaces. Think of a chessboard. What do you see on the chessboard? There are lots of them on the chessboard. What do you see on the chessboard? If you can figure that out, you got your answer. What are those things you see on the chessboard? Not chess pieces, but what is on the chessboard? If you don't have the chess pieces, what do you notice about the chessboard? So let's go with 64. You guys are on the right track. 64 spaces, 64 squares. Fantastic. Fantastic. 64 squares on a chessboard. 64 squares on a chessboard. All right. How was that? How do you guys feel about this puzzle? Did you guys enjoy it? You like more of this next time? Or was it too hard? Made you think too much? You were not ready for it? Okay, I'll wait for your responses and then let's go ahead and we're going to look at, I know we've been doing a lot of stuff for 5th graders, 6th graders, 7th graders, so we're going to go ahead and do something for the 2nd and 3rd graders. Let's do this. Second and third graders. It was cool, you guessed, not sure? So for 2nd and 3rd graders, here's what we have. We have two cities. City A had or has 6,432 millionaires. If 4,875 of them move to City B, how many of them are left in City A? 2nd and 3rd graders, this is for you. If you're in 2nd and 3rd grade, this is something that you should be able to do. But then, if you're in 4th, 5th, all the way through 7th, or even if you're an adult, this is something that you can also try. It's funny how sometimes with math, you can forget the simplest things. And so this is why we have a session like this. And everyone is welcome because you could be an adult, maybe in college, and you forgot some of this stuff because you're so used to working with a calculator, and now we can't use a calculator. Okay, let's wait for some answers on this one. So like I said earlier, when we started the session, at the beginning of the session, I did mention to all of us that I've started a place where you can send questions so that we can use that in our live sessions as well. So if you have any type of questions or if there's any topic that you are interested in that you need help understanding better, you can send those topics to us as well. And the link has been posted over there. So feel free to use that to send us topics. It doesn't have to be on Tuesday. You can send topics anytime. So get that link, put it in your favorites. Anytime you have a topic you like us to look at, just post it there. And then when we are preparing for this session, we'll look there first to make sure that we have some topics and focus on those topics for our live sessions. So if you have anything that you're interested in, that's a place for you to tell us that this is what you want us to do or what you want us to cover during this session. All right, let's go ahead. Anybody want to attempt this? Give it a try. It's not too difficult. So CDA has 6,432 millionaires. 4,875 of them moved to CDB. How many of them are left? So here is a key word you want to pay attention to. When you're dealing with word problems, you have to pay attention to keywords, because there would always be one or more keywords that give you a hint on what you're supposed to do. So this is my keyword right here. When you see this keyword, what are you thinking about? What should you be thinking about? How many of them are left? Okay, I see Anastasia has an answer. 1,557. Okay, so let me show you. When you're dealing with word problems, you have to read for keywords. When you see a word like this left right here, you're always thinking of subtraction. I see 1,563. Okay, so good answer so far. Every answer is fine. We're just going to walk through it together and get to the right answer. So this simply means we're going to subtract. So the keyword left means we're going to subtract. So now we're going to subtract. We have 6,432, and we have minus here 4,875. So we're going to go ahead and perform our subtraction here. So let's go ahead and do the subtraction. So we have 2 minus 5. 5 is greater than 2, so you can take 5 from 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to its next door neighbor, which is 3. Let's take 1 from 3, and 3 gives away 1, and it's left with 2. The 1 that we get from 3 becomes 10. We add it to 2, and we now have 12. So 12 minus 5, we have 7. And now we have 2 minus 7. 7 is greater than 2, so you can take 7 from 2. So we're going to come over to 4, and we're going to borrow 1 from here. So 4 now has 3. The 1 that we borrow becomes 10. We add it to 2, makes it 12. 12 minus 7, we have 5. Now we get back here, 3 minus 8. We can't really do that because 8 is larger than 3. So when you look at this, 3 minus 8 is asking you to take 8 out of 3. You can't do that because 8 is a much larger number than 3. So now we have to go to our next door neighbor here, which is number 6. We ask him to give us 1, and it's very generous, so it gives us 1 and it's left with 5. The 1 that we get from that becomes 10. We add it to 3, we get 13. 13 minus 8, we have 5. And then now we come over here, 5 minus 4, we have 1. So in city A, we now have 1,557 millionaires left. Okay, Adeze, Anastasia, Nena, good job. Anyone who tries gets a good job from me. It doesn't matter if the answer is correct, because we're going to go ahead and try to answer the questions together. So does anyone have any questions about this topic? I know word problems can be challenging for a lot of people because there's a technique in answering word problems. And trust me, if you get it right now in a lower grade, when you get to high school and to college, word problems never go away. So it's good for you to understand how to work with them and how to answer them, because when you go to high school, you're going to see word problems all the time. I even remember as a college student, I had college classmates and schoolmates that couldn't do word problems. So because they did not learn all of this stuff when they were young, when they were in earlier grades. So I want you to ask questions about it. If there's a technique that you think of and you want me to help you vet it or check it, let me know. I'll be glad to do that. Okay, you wrote the wrong number. Fantastic. Okay, since we don't have any questions, last week somebody had asked me about doing some multiplication. So we're going to work on multiplication next. So we're going to work on multiplication. We're going to multiply a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. So 479 multiplied by 23. I'm actually going to show you two methods. I'm going to show you the matrix method and I'm going to show you the algorithm method. There are two methods to do this. The matrix method is mostly used in 4th grade and maybe late part of 3rd grade, depending on the school that you're in. But the algorithm method is taught in 5th grade most of the time, and then you're going to use that in your future grades. So if you understand this method here, then you're going to be good using the algorithm. The matrix method takes longer to do because it's really about helping the 4th graders get, introduced to this type of multiplication. So 479 multiplied by 23. So I'm going to make sure I walk through, because this was a question that came through last week. And so going forward, once you have a question during the session, just go to that link and put the question in there so that when I'm reviewing the topics I need to prepare for the session, I just go there and say, okay, that's a topic I need to have in my questions. And then we'll make sure that you have all of that. Okay, so I'll give you some time to answer this. You can use the matrix method if you like. You can also use the algorithm method if you want. So if you're new to our channel and you're attending our live session or math lessons for the first time, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if I notice the topics that are really consistently that there's a request for some topics consistently, I'll go ahead and make some videos on it but you would only know the videos are available if you subscribe. So go ahead and subscribe. Recently I've been doing some quick math videos, like a 2-minute video, like how to add subtraction in less than 2 minutes, how to subtract fractions in less than 2 minutes, some of those. If you go to our channel, you will see those are the most recent videos we have out there now. Okay, so multiply 479 by 23. Let's see who's going to come up with that answer. I'm going to put together our matrix first. Let me go ahead and draw what our matrix is going to look like. So let's do that. So let's get our matrix together. So okay, 11017. 11017. Good. Everyone has an answer. So now we're going to go ahead and, okay, I see 3 responses come through. So we're going to go ahead and walk through this. Remember I said I'm going to show you the matrix method, and that's because we have 4th graders most likely here and 3rd graders. I'm going to show you that method, and then I'm going to show you the algorithm method, which is most used after 5th grade. So for the matrix method, we're going to use our place value. So 479 we're using our place value is going to be 4 hundreds plus 7 tens plus 9 ones. That was hard. Okay, really? Okay, I'll show you the easy ways to do it. Let's keep going. You'll see easy ways to do it. And then 23 is going to be 2 tens and 3 ones. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to write 470 here, and then we have 9, and then here we have 20 and 3. So now we're going to multiply across and fill up each of these boxes. So 400 multiplied by 20. So what we're going to do is we're going to ignore all the zeros. So 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. And we're going to have 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 70 multiplied by 20. Let's ignore the zeros. 7 multiplied by 2. We have 14. And then we add 1 0, 2 zeros. So 2 zeros here. And 9 multiplied by 20. We have 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. And we just have a 0 at the end. Okay. Now for the bottom row. 400 multiplied by 3, so 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, and we just put the 2 zeros at the end. And then we have 70 multiplied by 3, we're going to have 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. So we put a 0 at the end and we have 210. And then 9 multiplied by 3, we have 27. So now we're going to add the top and the bottom number in each of these, and at the end we'll add everything together. That's why I told you that this is a longer method. When I show you the algorithm method, you'll see that that's a lot easier to work with. So we have 8,000 plus 1,200. So we'll have here 0, 0, 2. So that is 9,200. So we have 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 1 plus 0 is 1. And then here we have 0 plus 7 is 7. 8 plus 2 is 10. So we're going to write a 0 here and bring a 1 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. So now we're going to add all of these numbers together. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 9,200, 1,610, and then we have 207. So let's go ahead and add all of this together. 0 plus 7, that's going to give us 7. 0 plus 1 plus 0 gives us 1. 2 plus 6, 8 plus 2, that's 10. So we're going to write 0 and bring 1 up here. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. So you're going to have 11017. So all of you got it right. So 11017. So this is a matrix method. If you ever feel like you want to check your algorithm to see if it's right, this is what you would do. And then whenever you're working with numbers, we always have to make sure we have our commas. So 1, 2, 3, we put a comma. Now the next method we're going to use is what we call the algorithm method. So we're going to go 4, 7, 9 multiplied by 23. So you can notice that I've lined them up based on their place values. And we're going to go ahead and start multiplying. So we have 9 multiplied by 3, that's 27. We're going to write this 7 here and bring a 2 up here. 7 multiplied by 3 is 21, plus 2 is 23. So we're going to write the value in the ones place here, and then we bring a 2 up here. 4 multiplied by 3 is 12, plus 2, we have 14. Okay, so now we have noticed that we started with the digit in the ones place. So now that we're going to the digit in the tens place, we're going to put a 0 here. The reason why we put a 0, I know a lot of students put a 0 here, but they don't know why. The reason why you put a 0 is because you are multiplying by a digit in the tens place. And remember that every number in the tens place ends with a 0. So that's why you put a 0 at the end right here. So you have 9 multiplied by 2, that's 18. So we're going to write 8 here and take 1 up here. Let me cancel this. We have 1 up here. 7 multiplied by 2, we have 14 plus 1, we have 15. So we write 5 here, and then we take this out and we bring 1 up here. 4 multiplied by 2, that's 8 plus 1, we have 9. So now we're going to add all of these numbers together, and that is going to give us the answer to the question. So 7 plus 0 is going to give us 7. 3 plus 8 is going to give us 11. So we're going to write 1 here and bring 1 up here. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. We're going to write 0 here and bring 1 up here. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 9 is 11. So we write 11 this way. And then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, put our comma. So that's really how you do your multiplication. I've shown you 2 different methods. I'll tell you that when you are in about late 3rd grade and mid 4th grade, this is probably what you're going to be taught. And if you're in 5th grade and above, this is the method that you're going to use. It's a quicker method. It's a lot faster. There's not a lot of stuff to do with it like you do here. But those in 4th grade, you're taught this way so you can understand how place value relates to your multiplication. Are there any questions? It's kind of hard. Okay, there are some videos. We have some videos that walk through this method a whole lot because this method is very common once you're in 5th grade. But this method I can understand. It could be tedious. It could take forever. It depends on how big your number is. So most students don't like it anyway. So that's why I want to show you this method. So are there any questions so we can go on to the next topic? We're going to go over to our 7th grade topic, and then after that we're going to do a puzzle. The last puzzle is actually very interesting. I'd like to see how you guys think about it. It's going to be awesome. So let's go to the next question before we get to our puzzle. So Don Jay's Bakery has a recipe that requires 5 cups of flour for every 8 eggs used in baking their customer's favorite cookie. For a specific customer's order, if 27 eggs were used, how many cups of flour were required? So with Don Jay's is a bakery. Don Jay's is a bakery, and we have a recipe that requires 5 cups of flour for every 8 eggs used in baking their customer's favorite cookie. For a specific customer's order, if 27 eggs were used, how many cups of flour do you think were needed to make those cookies? So this is a topic on ratio and proportion. If you're in 6th grade or 7th grade, this is probably something that you would, if you're going to 6th or 7th grade, you will learn something like this. If you're already in 7th grade, you should have done this. But if you're also in a lower grade, there's nothing wrong with just seeing how things work. You know, you'll be surprised that sometimes the things you learn when you're not really, you know, they actually kind of stay in your mind, and when you get to it, it actually becomes easier. So just feel free, and as I see someone has already answered the question, so I'm going to show you the best way to answer this question. This is good if you're in if you're going to 7th grade. This is probably it's a topic you're going to most likely cover in your first grading period. If you're going to 6th grade, you will get a topic like this, but maybe not this level. Okay, so let's go ahead and answer it. I see that there's a lot of people may not feel comfortable answering this question. So let's go ahead. I'll show you how to do it. It's all about ratio and proportion. So we're looking at, for a recipe that requires 5 cups of flour for every 8 eggs used. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to create a ratio. So I'm going to look at flour and ratio of flour to eggs, okay? So we have 5 cups of flour for every 8 eggs used. So the ratio of flour to eggs is 5 to 8. Now we have, for this specific customer's order, 27 eggs were used. Remember, we have ratio and proportion, so the relationship between them will be exactly the same. And we want to find out how many cups of flour were used. So this is going to be X. So now I'm going to show you this method. It's called the cross product method whenever you're working on proportions. So here's what we're going to do with this. I'm going to write it as a fraction. You will see that ratios are also another way of representing fractions. So we're going to have 5 over 8 is equal to X over 27. That's another way to write this statement we see right here. This is another way to write it. 5 over 8 equal to X over 27. So now we're going to use what I call the cross product method. And this is what that looks like. We're going to multiply numerator here by denominator. So let's go ahead and multiply it that way. And then denominator here by numerator. So Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to give us 5 multiplied by 27 to divide by 8. We're going to divide both sides by 8. And so that's going to give us, it's going to give us x is equal to 135 divided by 8. So now we're going to go ahead and do our long division here. 135 divided by 8. How many groups of 8 in 1? That's 0. How many groups of 8 in 13? We're going to have 1. 1 multiplied by 8, we have 8. Let's subtract. We have 5 here. We have, bring down 5 down here. So we now have to figure out how many groups of 8 in 55. That should give you 6. 6 multiplied by 8, we have 48, and we have a remainder of 7. So now that we have that, we're going to write x as a mixed number. And so here's what I want you guys to see. Another way of looking at your mixed number. I know in our mixed number, this is going to be our whole number. This is going to be our numerator. And then this is going to be our denominator. So one other method you could also use to do that is we can try to go, let's take a trip. We take a trip from here all the way back here. So we're going to start with 16. We put 7 over 8. So you can see we start with the whole number, we go to our numerator, and we go to our denominator. So we're going to go around and create a loop, and that is going to give us 16 7 over 8. So that's what you're going to do. So now that we have this, are there any questions on this topic? Are there any questions on this topic before we get to our puzzle, our final puzzle for today? Any questions? Any questions? I know this may, for those that are not in 6th or 7th grade, this may seem like a lot, but just follow the method and it will serve you well long term. Don't worry about that. Okay, no questions? Let's go to our final puzzle for today. Which of these persons or people is left-handed? Which of these persons or people is left-handed? Let the answers come through. Let's see who comes up with an answer. Which of these persons is left-handed? How can you tell who's left-handed? Number 1. Oh, number 1 is left-handed. Okay. You want to tell us why you think number 1 is the left-handed one? Why do you think number 1 is the left-handed person? Okay, I see number 4. Number 4, I see another response, number 4. If you notice, your left is his right. That is very true. Yes, that is, you're right. My left is his right, for sure. 4 or 5. Okay, can you explain 4? Can you explain 5? Everyone is saying 4. Why 4? Because of the... Okay. Why is everyone thinking 4? See, lots of 4s here. See, Jordan, Onyekachi, and Adeze think it's 4, but Inena thinks it's 1. Onyekachi also thinks it's 5. So let's see. Why is it 4? Why is it 5? So if you look at 1, so let's see 1. If you look at 1, if you had a tool, like, looks like you have something like, almost like a hammer or something of that sort. And when you're trying to hit a nail or you're trying to hit something, you always use your dominant hand. And here you can see that he's using his right hand to hit. He's using his left hand to hold the thing down and the right hand to hit it. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, say yes or say 1. Okay, okay. All right. Thank you. I just didn't hear, I wasn't seeing anything coming from you guys, so I thought maybe you couldn't hear me. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at each of these persons. So you can see here, for this person here, this is the dominant hand because it's the hand he's going to use to bang on the, let's call this a nail. This is the hand he's going to use to bang on the nail. So this is his dominant hand. So this is a right-handed person. And then here you can easily see that it's using the right hand to actually do the cutting. So this is a right-handed user. And if you look at this, like, who was it that said my left is his right? Okay, Nena said my left is his right. So for me, it looks like it's a left hand, but that's his right. So this is going to be a right-handed user. What about this? This user is going to click the camera with this hand here, which is going to be his right hand. And guess what? If you go to the restaurant, this was actually very interesting to me, just to think through the problem. If you go to the restaurant and you have the server trying to serve you something, what they do is they hold the tray in their left hand if they are right-handed, so they can serve you with their right hand. If the person is right-handed, if the person is left-handed, they hold the tray with their right hand so they can serve you with their left hand. So in this case, this person is holding the tray with his right hand so he can serve you with his left. So this is the left-handed person. So whoever said 5 was right. So the server at the restaurant is our left-handed person. All right, so that was fun. I really enjoyed it. So thank you all again for your time. Thank you for the hour. The hour flies by for me. It almost seems like I just started a few minutes ago. So this has been fun. Don't forget, we have that link. If you have any questions, any topics from today that you didn't quite get, you want another opportunity next week, go to that link and post your question. Let us know that that's what you need help with. And also on Thursday, we're going to be having sessions for 8th graders to 12th graders. If you're in 7th grade or if you're in 6th grade, going to 7th grade pre-AP, this is also something that you can benefit from. And if you're in a lower grade and you just want to see what these older students do, what is the big deal about what they do, you can come and join us as well. everybody's welcome. So enjoy yourself, enjoy your day. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Don't forget to stay safe and stay blessed. I look forward to our time again next week. God bless you too. Thank you for that.
Hi, my name is Aretha Adelosimo, and I'm making this video today to tell you about a wonderful opportunity you have to invest in yourself and your own future career goals by enrolling in Matthews Tutors. I'm currently a freshman student at Columbia University in the city of New York, an Ivy League institution, where I am studying neuroscience and behavior on the pre-med track. I personally don't believe that I would have had the ability to call myself a Columbia student had it not been for the efforts of Matthews Tutors all those years ago. When I was in high school, I struggled with math, and I knew that I struggled with math. Math filled me with fear, and I wasn't confident doing it. But after just a few sessions with Matthew's tutors, not only was I instilled with the confidence to go forth in whatever math classes I chose to take, but I was able to increase my ACT score by almost 10 points, helping me earn a super score of 35. With those numbers, I was able to get accepted to all 16 colleges I applied to, including, but not limited to, Cornell University, Georgetown University, Tulane University, Duke University, and the college I currently attend, Columbia University. Matthew's Tutors is going to do everything that they can to help you. That's what they did for me. But not only are they going to help you be a better student, they're going to continuously check in on you. I know that I personally received a lot of messages of support from them during my first semester of college, which was one of the hardest semesters I've ever experienced as a student. Matthews made sure that I had the confidence to go forth and pursue my own academic goals, but they also helped me increase the numbers too so that I could get where I wanted to be. And I know that they can do the same thing for you if you give them a chance. Thank you.